Hi everyone, we're Krista and Tony, a couple of Australians that have taken the year off to travel the world. We started with renting a van in San Diego and plan on driving it all the way up to Canada. In this video, we head to Bryce Canyon in our rented camper van, where we explore the park, hiking some of the best trails while checking out some hoodoos. After that, we head south to check out the Grand Canyon while staying the night at a place called Kanab. Bryce Canyon National Park is located in southern Utah, which for us was about a 2-hour drive from Zion. Bryce is closed in the winter months and it's only open from mid-April to the end of October. Here we are in Bryce Canyon, where we'll spend the next couple of days doing some hikes. So to start off Bryce adventure with a little inspiration, we headed straight to Inspiration Point. This part of the park is one of the best overviews of Bryce Canyon, where you can see hundreds of the famous hoodoo structures from above. Inspiration Point has a walk around the rim over to Sunrise Point, where we wanted to start our journey into the lower canyon amongst the hoodoos, where we would meet the Queen and see Thor's hammer. To get the most out of Bryce, you can rush it in half a day like we did, but it's probably best to plan 1 to 2 full days to see everything. The temperatures can also be pretty variable, being up 9,100 feet, so make sure you bring a jacket. There are 3 major hikes you can do in Bryce: the Queen's Trail, Navajo Loop, and Peekaboo Loop. My personal favourite, and what gives you a great overview of the park, is the combined Queen's Trail and Navajo Loop, which is what we cover in this video at an easy 3.1 miles. If you want to see more of the park though and have multiple days, the Peekaboo Trail is definitely worth doing, coming in at 5.2 miles in length. So we started our hikes into Bryce from Sunrise Point, where this trailhead loops through some of the best geological sites within the canyon. As we started to venture into the canyon, we crossed one of the horse trails. If you're into horse riding, these tours vary between $75 to $100, and they go along a dedicated horse riding trail into the canyon, which in my opinion misses most of the best bits Bryce has to offer that you can only access on foot. This is Bryce Canyon, and we're going to do the Queen's Garden Loop and then the Navajo Trail. It's the most popular, so it's going to be cool. We're going to see some hoodoos. And it's weird, it's cold and hot at the same time, so yeah. You're always hungry.
Well, I don't like food.
Fall off, please. From Sunrise Point, you can complete the Queen's Garden Trail, where you pass through some natural arches while seeing several amazing hoodoos that have been carved out by the elements over time.
So what's the difference between a chipmunk and a squirrel? Squirrels are fatter and they're bigger and they don't have stripes. That's the difference.
Chipmunk squirrel expert. So we've just found out why they call it the Queen's Garden, because we found the Queen. She's side on apparently, and she's wearing a crown. I don't know, needs a bit of imagination.
I'm the queen.
So after giving our regards to the Queen, we headed to the Navajo Loop Trail, where we hiked through some thin canyons lined with hoodoos either side until we reached the famous zigzag walk of Wall Street. This section of Bryce gets its name due to the similarities to the Wall Street of New York, where instead of towering buildings, you're surrounded by towering hoodoos protruding from the ground. Here we are hiking up, I think it's called Wall Street. It's a zigzag path on the Navajo Loop. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool and it's pretty hard.
These towering formations are still being altered by the elements today, but this section of Bryce was closed back in 2021, where a small rockfall left several hikers with minor injuries. So after a solid bull run on Wall Street, we headed to the Two Bridges Trail to check out Thor's hammer. That is Thor's hammer. Bryce was originally an ancient lake and floodplain system over 50 million years ago, yet as the North American plate collided with its neighbour, Bryce was uplifted to the perfect altitude for hoodoo formation. The main natural forces of weathering that create the hoodoos are ice and rain. As Bryce was uplifted to a colder climate, rain would settle into the cracks of the rocks, then freeze, expanding up to 9%. This would wedge the rocks apart, creating these amazing hoodoo structures. Native Paiutu elders tell the story of hoodoos once being people, who were turned into stone for bad deeds done in the past. They say you can see them sitting, standing, and holding one another with paint on their faces, as they were before being turned into rock. So we finished doing the hike. We went and did about 4 or 5 Ks. We didn't do the Peekaboo Trail. I've done that before though, a few years ago, and it's pretty epic. It's just a bit longer. So we might have lunch and see how we go, but that's it. Bryce Canyon done. You can do it in probably half a day if you rush it and skip stuff.
It's very nice.
Once we finished up at Bryce, we then headed south to find a camp spot near the town of Kanab, where we found this awesome little spot which was in the middle of these canyons. Not a bad view. So we're pretty close to the city or the town of Kanab, and we just found a BLM, which means like a public camping zone for free.
Bureau of Land Management? I don't know what it means.
And we just found this little spot, which is pretty awesome, in this red canyon. So...
And it's free!
That's free.
Free!
We're just gonna hope we don't get bogged in the soft sand in this 4-ton van. Woo!
This is pretty, I like this. Can you reverse or no?
God, it feels pretty soft.
Does it?
Whoo! Alright, we're camping here for tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, where's my goddamn hat?
Do I get a reward?
What for?
For being nice.
What do you mean? I found this campsite.
I found this campsite.
So, sand looks pretty hard. Right next to a nice buzzing power point. And we have this canyon view, I guess. It's just kind of nice. Ooh, sheer cliff.
Pretty good.
Look at this, we got a little attachable shower, so I can wash my dirty, sandy feet from running up and down all these paths, testing to see if it's soft sand or not. So, all right, water pump activated. All right, water on.
There you go.
The next day we headed to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, which was a 2-hour drive from where we camped the night before. So we drove 2 hours to the north rim of the Grand Canyon, and these are the views. That's the view of the penguin. So in this valley here, there's actually a fault line that runs right through where the river's running. So rivers love to find planes of weaknesses like a fault line, and that's why it's so deep in the middle there. And actually this section on the right here, woo, has been uplifted, and that's why the geological units are a little bit higher than all the way over there. They don't perfectly line up. Geology Facts 101 Grand Canyon Edition. Exciting, huh?
I'm crying because it's so beautiful.
And that's the visitor center / restaurant / guest house / accommodation, I think.
/ toilets.
There are several theories around how the Grand Canyon was formed. However, the most popular one suggests that between 10 to 35 million years ago, the Colorado River was diverted and combined with that of a giant perched lake that then breached its walls. With these bodies of water rushing in one destructive direction, with a little bit of uplift, the Grand Canyon was formed. And this is the visitor center and restaurant clubhouse thing. The Grand Canyon Lodge was established in 1927, and you can stay there with rooms overlooking the Grand Canyon for around $150 to $300 a night. This place had beautiful architecture along with sweeping views of the canyon. And they made some pretty good hot dogs. So we decided to get our first American hot dog instead of eating healthy in the van. But we get this amazing view now while we have lunch, which is great. And that concludes our Grand Canyon tour. I don't know what I did, but along the walk, I think I just twinged my back. And I'm in so much pain. I think it's a... Huh?
You're just an old man.
I think it's part of just getting old. Can I have some Nurofen?
No.
Huh?
Wait, I'm just refilling the water bottle.
I'm in so much pain. Anyway, we're heading back to Kanab and we're gonna get some food.
Some healthy food.
Healthy food. We need to go shopping at tonight's dinner. Oh my god.
On a side note, we didn't spend too much time exploring the other lookouts along the northern rim. However, you can stop off at several until you reach Cape Royal and Angel's Window, which is about 45 minutes away.
I did this on my USA trip in 2018 and those lookouts were a lot quieter. Mostly because they were just a little bit out of the way. Tune in for our next episode where we explore the nearby ghost town of Paria. Or Paria? I think that's how you say it. Where we check out the surrounding awesome Rainbow Mountains.